Checking out the gyros. Holy fucking shit, it's motherfucking Jack Kirby's birthday. We hire on Jack Kirby's birthday. Holy shit. Hey man, do you know who Jack Kirby is? It's his birthday. Holy shit. It's Jack Kirby's birthday. Yo, do y'all know who Jack Kirby is?
Jack Kirby?
Yes. Be around midnight. Yes, this motherfucker. There it is. There's the man, bitch. There's the man. Right there. The moon is at that position. It's around like just after midnight. This is what happens if you don't know who the fuck Jack Kirby is. This is on you. This is on them right there. If you don't know who Jack Kirby is, this is on you. That's what happens. See right there. Your insurance rates will probably go up right there. Yeah, the 5-0 involved. The buses right there, now they're stopped. You're affecting the flow of society. Just because they didn't know who Jack Kirby was. Yeah. It's crazy. We got some walking to do. Does she know who Jack Kirby is? Where is she? Oh, where'd you go, hon? There she is. Do you know who Jack Kirby is? Do you know? Do you know, Holmes? Happy birthday, Yakov Kurtzberg. Happy 104th to Mr. Jack Kirby. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. August 28th, 2021, the 104th birthday of the King of Comics. Now, there's so much that you can say about Jack Kirby, where he's from, what he's done. Yeah, I made a video a year ago celebrating his birthday, referencing a bunch of websites like Academics Today. Type that in YouTube. Check out that channel, all one word, Academics Today. Comic book historians. Definitely hit them up. Kirby Continuum. Please check out that channel. Kirby Continuum. Arlen Schumer, his website. He is a brilliant comic book historian who does these essays on various aspects of comic book culture and sequential history. Check out his website, Arlen Schumer. You gotta celebrate. Celebrate. Good evening. All right. Y'all know who Jack Kirby is? No. Today's his birthday. Famous comic book artist. Jack Kirby. The fuck? They don't. What the hell? Jesus Christ. Am I taking crazy pills? Who's the mama pajama? Fucking Jack Kirby, yo. What the fuck? And of course, the Jack Kirby Museum and Research Center. The Jack Kirby Museum and Research Center is a great YouTube channel. Please check that out as well. See this motherfucker right here. Knows what the fuck is, man. Shit, let's see what's going on, man. Yo, man, you know who Jack Kirby is?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah, he draws pictures.
Yeah, comic book artist?
Yeah.
Fucking A, man. Today's his birthday.
Wow, happy birthday.
Yeah, man. He's 28. Alright, I gotta throw myself in front of this bus right here. You know what I'm saying? He draws pictures. Seriously. Oh yeah. So my tomorrow's order came in. I ordered 4 items. One was an Alter Ego magazine that they have, and the other 3 were Jack Kirby books. So I got these 2 right here. I'm waiting on the other 2. They just haven't been published yet, apparently. So the Alter Ego one, I think, just came out because I just downloaded the PDF, which previously wasn't available. So to commemorate Jack Kirby's birthday, I got these items I ordered on August 4th. They actually came in just a couple weeks ago, but I wanted to wait until today, August 28th. Happy Jack Kirby month. Thank y'all for celebrating the King of Comics. Just taking this moment out, show some respect, represent the King. Wow. Now, the first and only autobiography here of Jack Kirby is by Tom Scioli. He's known for his Godland comic, and now this biography from 10 Speed Press. This came out a year ago. It's $30. Author's note just saying how it's not authorized by the family. His parents were Jewish immigrants from Austria. He grew up in Brooklyn, I believe. That part I'm not sure of, but I would say obviously New York City, one of the boroughs. Crazy Cat, George Harriman. Brilliant cartoonist at the turn of the century. Covered the biography on George Harriman, one of my earlier vids. Jack Kirby growing up. Drawing on the walls. Now, Street Code, or is it Street Life? That is the autobiography that Jack Kirby did about growing up in New York City. And the mean streets, the hustle and bustle. All right. There's a little sample of a book that I'd say is a must-have. If your local library doesn't have this, let them know. Give them a heads up. Yo, I just have an image of your feet.
What?
Do you guys know who Jack Kirby is? You don't know who Jack Kirby? Yeah, today's his birthday. So
We referenced him earlier today.
did you do a Jack Kirby tattoo today?
No, well, he tried to.
Just saying, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Peace.
That's me.
Street Code is the name of the autobiography, Jack Kirby story that came out Man, do you guys know who Jack Kirby is? That's fucked up. Broke my fucking toe just then. Street code. Unfortunately, Jack Kirby passed away in 1994. Yo, man, can I ask you a quick question? Do you know who Jack Kirby is? Famous comic book artist. It's his birthday, yeah. Yeah. Can't believe that. So in 1990, Street Code was published in the second issue of Argosy. And then in 2000, Street Code was presented in John B. Cook's and John Murrow's book, Streetwise. That would be the two Murrows publishing. And then in 2008, Mark Evanier included Street Code in his Kirby King of Comics book. This is what happens when you don't know about Jack Kirby right here. This is what happens. Say, man, you know who Jack Kirby is?
Jack Kirby?
Yeah, the famous comic book artist.
Yeah, birthday.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's his birthday. It's all, you know, it's all good. It's all good. Whoa, this is what happens. If you don't know who Jack Kirby is, shit goes down. That's all I'm saying. It happened. Today's his birthday. It just occurred. There's the moon. You probably can't see it. Can you see the moon? I mean, just want to give a shout out to McKinley Richard and PGH Zombie. Y'all great. Thanks for mentioning Jack Kirby's birthday. Showing off your Commandy and 2001 Space Odyssey comics. I mean, I knew a little bit of Mr. Miracle, New Gods. That was like the gist of my DC exposure to Jack Kirby. If anyone gets a chance, check out Challengers of the Unknown. It's a precursor to the Fantastic Four that Jack Kirby created. These fucking harmless bitches. Fucking shit. Yo, man, do you know who Jack Kirby is?
What?
Jack Kirby, do you know who he is? Comic book artist. Today's his birthday, Jack Kirby. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. You're fine. You know what I'm saying? Like the best, you know, Kirby stories, covers, creations, so forth. Jack Kirby, the famous comic book artist. Oh, yo, today's his birthday.
Is that right?
Yep.
Happy birthday, Jack.
Yeah, man. Make your own, motherfucker. Go make your own, bitch. You don't know about Jack Kirby, go make your own. Without knowing about Jack Kirby. What you talking about? Shit. Now the collected Jack Kirby Collector, Volume 6. Edited by John Murrow. Gorgeous cover. Love that. Kind of a deep purple, bright yellow. So this is what? This was 30, and I got this one on sale for 25. Kirby's unused, unfinished cover for Soul Love #1. So thank you so much for tuning into my channel. I just want to go over some books that I bought. I did go to Vision Comics and Oddities today. There was some gonzo filmmaking going on. Some production company. They were part of this 48-hour film project. Make a film in 48 hours. So they were using Vision Comics and Oddities for their set. I managed to work my way around them. And my little cameras and stuff set up everywhere. It was pretty cool. Hey, do you guys know who Jack Kirby is? The famous comic book artist?
Yes.
Today's his birthday.
Are you Jack Kirby? Happy birthday, Jack.
Peace. I had to hit up a comic book shop on Jack Kirby's birthday, right? So I had to go to my favorite one. One more thing, though. So I know that Kirby appeared in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Donatello #1. I don't have that. I mentioned that before. I just wanted to show this off because I think this is the most current appearance of Jack Kirby in a comic book. It just came out last week. It's in the past couple weeks. I showed this in my last vid. It's by Shaky Kane and Krent Abel. Kane and Abel. Out of Image Comics. This was only $13, by the way. Part of the story involves how Jack Kirby was influenced by aliens. It's interesting. Crazy artwork going on. Do you mind if I ask you a quick question? Does anyone here know who Jack Kirby is?
Jack Kirby.
Yes.
That's you.
Famous comic book artist.
Jack Kirby.
It's his birthday today.
What kind of book?
Marvel. DC.
All right. Stan Lee's in here.
He invented Captain America. Your mama. You fucking tell me, oi, bitch. That's why I keep talking. You know, I just had a conversation today at the comic book shop with one of the people that work there, Deirdre, saying how we've got these great comics, but we don't want to open them up. We don't want to ruin the condition as a collector and as an investor. And that's why reader copies is where it's at. I think those dollar back issue bins are going to become more and more popular. They already are. And it's just another reason to show off your wares, and they don't have to be in very fine condition. For me, for that stuff that I got in my little bucket list, I try and keep those as close to VF as possible. Do you know who Jack Kirby is? Do you know who Jack Kirby is? Hey man, do you know who Jack Kirby is? Do you know? Hey, do you know who Jack Kirby is? Yo dude, do you know who Jack Kirby is, Holmes? Brilliant. And yeah, as I mentioned, I think it was Vince Coletta was one of the most popular inkers that was told to ink over Jack Kirby's work because it didn't look commercialized enough. It didn't fit with the trend of brand identity that they were trying to push. They being editors and people in accounting and marketing. So that fantastic Jack Kirby artwork got filtered by the Incas and the people handling the licensing. Yeah, like I said before, you know, that licensing, it's great because it's going to create worldwide brand identity for whatever comic book character that you dig, that you want to invest in. But things get too big, too popular, kind of stunts the growth of creators coming in, providing different stylistic dynamics on a character that could provide further fascinating character development. Lord have mercy. So here's the original pencils of Jack Kirby's Superman. It's that date, 1984. And I was knee deep in comics by 84. I never saw that. I was reading Superman throughout the 80s, my first decade, collecting, reading. Happy birthday, Jack. One last chance. Here we go. The detritus of society. In the midst of all the rubble, there ain't shit going on. What's up, man?
Hey, how you doing?
I won't get your face.
Oh, no, don't worry about it.
Hey, do you know who Jack Kirby is?
No, I don't think so.
Really? I've been walking up all the way from, what's that, Grateful Dead bar that's right.
Oh, Sancho's.
Yeah. So I hung out there, had a great time, and played some pool. And my whole time walking up here, I'm like, do you know who Jack Kirby is? Do you know who Jack Kirby is? Nobody knows who the fuck Jack Kirby is.
Who is
He's
Jack
a
Kirby?
famous comic book, a sequential artist.
Jack Kirby. I thought you were saying Herbie. Jack Kirby, yeah, I know
Oh my
who
God,
Jack Kirby
this whole
is.
time I'm walking
Yeah,
up
like
Colfax
Commandi,
saying
all
Herbie.
that stuff, man. Jack Kirby's the man.
So what was your first exposure to Jack Kirby?
So, I got a bunch of my aunt's old comic books when I was a kid, and I liked a lot of them, but my favorites were this series Jack Kirby actually wrote Andrew called Commandi, the Last Boy on Earth.
Commandi, the last boy on earth. Holy
sounds
shit.
like a post-apocalyptic world where there are all these animal people, like Planet of the Apes times a million. There were these tigers who were like a Roman Empire and stuff. Yeah, he was the last human alive. It was super cool.
Yeah, that's huge. Like hardcore Kirby fans are all about the Commandi.
Yeah, because it's one of the
So-
few things he wrote Andrew, I feel
This,
like.
you are the only person that knew about Jack Kirby's birthday. The whole walk up
Yeah.
Colfax. Holy what the
Well, I didn't even know it was his
fuck?
birthday. I'm excited, but I knew who he was. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's a
exactly.
legend,
You're the only
man.
one that knew who the fuck he was. Jesus Christ. What do you mind if I ask your name?
Oh, Andrew.
Andrew, you work at the bar here at Lions
Yeah,
Lair?
Lions Lair.
The
Coming in
best
anytime.
fucking live venue. You got 3 punk bands playing tomorrow night, right?
Tomorrow night, 3 punk bands. Yeah, I'm happy to talk comics anytime. Talk punk anytime.
Exactly. Thank you, man.
Andrew, again,
Sequential
thank
Geek.
you.
Thank you. Peace.
I'll see you next time, bro.
Hell yeah. All right. And then I went over to Vision Comics and Oddities today. It's Jack Kirby's birthday. Damn right, I'm going to go to a comic book shop. Hell yeah. Last night I went out, walked from downtown all the way to, parked my car like 11th and Logan, then walked down to Broadway, went to the high dive, some serious metal music was banging out the sides of the wall of that building. I waited in line, and then the guy's like, "Where's your wristband?" Like, what? It's like, you got to use this app, and then you got to go around the corner after you use the app, and then show him that, and then get the wristband, and then come back. I'm like, no, fuck that. Yeah, I got cash right now. What are you kidding me? And he's like, no. So I bailed, went and got a tall can of beer, drank that, going back to my car, went and grabbed the other tall can of beer, walked to another. That was, a half an hour one way, half an hour back walking. Walked all the way up Colfax to Lions Lair. One of the few nights I did not have live music playing, so I went to that hippie bar
right back down Colfax again and had a fucking blast, actually. Got a lot of needed exercise, and, you know, the freaks come out at night. The freaks come out at night. So it was really super interesting walking around Denver and just getting out, getting some exercise, and having a few beers. So yeah, this is the self-published comic book that Mr. Chris Lanham set up. And the first issue came out last Halloween. You probably saw that Halloween special that I showed off, because, you know, gotta give props to the favorite comic book shop. So that was their first issue, and Chris was saying how he wants to do at least one comic a year, and these are all local artists. This first one, I read all these stories, I think, as far as like indie publishing, and they put it together sort of like a last minute deal. I think it's fantastic. This woman's being chased. She didn't want to throw a witch down a well. It's her friend to get rid of the drought. This object falls through the sky, saves this woman's life. This guy was about to kill her. Goes right through him. She lands through him. She wants to find out what the object is and check it out. Look familiar? Is it Zach Skellington Connolly does the exterior artwork of Vision Comics Oddities, that building. He's got a story in here as well. He has that other comic I showed, something like Loch Ness in the Lake, or Monster in the Lake. I reviewed that comic recently. Some morose storylines about a woman on a date. So watch out for a man with a charming smile. He might just take you out for a while. Support your local comic book shops, especially those that are interested in publishing local talent. This last one's about a guy that made a deal with the devil by Zach Skellington Connolly. Give them a call. Give them your address. Have them mail you one. Have them mail you two. Have them mail you 2 copies of issue 1 and 2. So you got the reader copy, and you got the one that you can keep in the bag there that doesn't fall over when you show it off. Also in the Denver area, maybe you've seen this in other parts of the U.S. This is from Kali Chronic Comix. Some of their characters there, like Blunt Man. Premium rolling papers with natural gum. Got a few comics in the mail. So I'll show these off here real quick before I move into my Vision Comics and Oddities buy. But isn't this cool? A shop that's printing its own book. Fucking love that. Rags, man. Bernie Wrightson, Master of the Macabre. Bernie Wrightson, Master of the Macabre, issue 5 is from Eclipse Comics, but the first 4 issues are from Pacific Comics. Pacific Comics, that's the same company that had started one of the first price guides and fanzines. That's a near mint 9.2 for $14.69. Now there is one flaw, and that is that color ding right there, that slight color break. When I first saw this out of the bag, I thought, oh my god, is that cover ripped? The fuck? But no, just it's the bag. Yeah, it's all good. And then to fill up my Bernie Wrightson Master of the Macabre run, I got issue number 2 and issue number 4. I got both of those for $17.26. That includes shipping. All right, now heading back over to Vision Comics and Oddities. I was heading back over there today and really wanted to get over there this past week. Last weekend, I saw this item that was on the wall, and the week before that, you know, I've just been like, oh my god, it's still there, man. I've just been putting it off. Wasn't sure if this job that I had was going to be lasting or working out or whatnot. So short term, at least, I know my employment's going to be stable. And I was thinking, all right, it's time to pull the trigger on a couple of things. And one of them, I'll show you in a minute, but because it is Jack Kirby's birthday, right? You do got to go shopping for some comics on Jack Kirby's birthday, August 28th. But when I went over to Vision Comics and Oddities for Free Comic Book Day a couple weeks ago, you know, showed off that long shot number 1 newsstand and then number 6 direct. Then I find out how everyone's geeking off about long shot number 3, first appearance of Mojo. And I went back to see if he had any of those other middle issues of the 6-issue limited series by Ann Nesenti, art by, it's the breakout book here of Art Adams. And all of them were in direct except for one, this 3rd issue. And it's in, I mean, what's the condition? Shit. This is the part where he's gaining his memory back because when he left that Mojoverse, he had lost his memory the first couple issues of this series. He ends up like being a stuntman on a movie set for a minute. Stories were kind of going in all directions. Really, it was just the Art Adams artwork. Checking out that artwork of She-Hulk in issue number 4. And just the cool, different, like Magog, right? This guy, he was trying to come across as like an ally, but he was totally shady, and just, you could tell there was something going on with him, and he kept growing larger and larger each issue, and he reveals to Longshot that he's really just an agent for Mojo. You know, a lot came out of this Mojoverse. It's not just Longshot, but I think in what, Uncanny X-Men issue number 205, that's a Barry Windsor Smith cover, but that's the story of how Spiral from the Mojoverse gave, was it Yuriko Oyama, those finger blades, and she became Lady Deathstrike thanks to Spiral. You also had the X-Babies. They were created out of the Mojoverse. He took some DNA from the X-Men and did the X-Babies, that's right. So there's a lot of interesting stuff coming out of the Mojoverse, and just the concepts of people being connected to technology, going from being anything from a technocrat to a bithead, completely plugged in, sense of self, consciousness. There's a lot of themes you can play off of, right? I mean, second books like Snow Crash by Stevenson and was it William Gibson's Neuromancer, you know, shit, Johnny Mnemonic, That's a Neuromancer. That's a William Gibson book. That's timeless. Ice-T, baby. Oh, yeah. But when those types of books start getting adapted to film and these type of episodic saga films, like with Dune and the Foundation series, then that whole cyberverse is going to be coming back again, that whole genre, right? You got that Matrix prequel that's coming out. Shout out 666. Thanks for reminding me of that. I got to check out that cat's channel. 666. The word triple, the number 6. Sup, man. Always, thank you for your comments, dog. Much appreciated. So I got, last time I was at Vision Comics Entities, I got that newsstand of Longshot #1. Had to get that final issue #6, just a beautiful cover. And turns out the only other one they had a newsstand was this first appearance of Mojo's, and I was like, fuck yeah, because this was the one that I was thinking about getting. The other ones, they were in direct, and I got so many comics, I'm getting picky now. I would have gotten that issue #4, even if it was in direct, because it's got that She-Hulk on the cover, and it just wasn't, the white wasn't really white. There was a lot of scuffing on it. It's all good. It's fine. I've got so many comics. I did pay $15 for this. I did pay $20 for this B cover of Dark Horse Presents #36. That's the Dave Dorman painting. Dave Dorman's done a lot of those Dark Horse Star Wars comic book covers. I think the Dark Empire books, some of them. So, yeah, I was looking it up. I got 3 copies of the A and the B cover already. I have 1 copy of issue 35 and then 3 copies of issue 34, right? That's the 3-part story of Alien vs. Predator. Came out of Dark Horse Comics. There was a earlier Aliens appearance in issue 24 of Dark Horse Presents, but of this 3-issue run, Aliens vs. Predator, this is my favorite cover, and I think it's the most popular one. So $20, right? I mean, we're reaching limits here. If you look on that video I did where the camera was all shaking, I was covering the Boba Fett Twin Engines of Destruction options that I had online, checking out prices on eBay and books. I ended up buying that one book and talked the guy down to $20 plus, the $5 shipping. But just talking about like spending limits, and for me, it's getting to the point where I've been spending so much for the past 5 years that like really $30 I'd like to make be my limit. And even having to get this, paying $20 for it, I'm reaching the end of the line even for that. So we are at such a prime time though for collecting. It's like a tail end of this prime time, really. Because this is a $1 book 5 years ago. A few years ago, it was a $5 to $8 book, and see the pattern that I'm saying. You get that $1, $2 book, $5 to $8 book. Then you go to 12 to 16. Now you start seeing this thing for 20. And I'm thinking, if I found this on eBay in this condition, no spine flaws. I don't know what I'm saying. So, one of the cool things about Vision Comics and Oddities, so you got like a section for like horror comics and heavy metal comics, sci-fi variants, key comics. They separate them all out, and I think it was out like by the horror section, the Verotic comics, a bunch of those. Man, I could have bought like 100 right there, but controlling the spending and limiting it once again, that saying I say, it's great because it helps you save money. Collect what you like, invest in what you know. Try to get both those concepts to overlap as much as possible. Curb your spending that way as well. Helps you focus on what really matters. And for me, it's that iconic stuff. And Frank Frazetta is that iconic name. Glenn Danzig did the writing. Frank Turan doing the art. Yeah, there is a rare hollow foil of this Devilman #1, by the way. Don't you know? So, yo. So I walked up Colfax after I got that second bear, and I was heading up to Lion's Lair, and I'm just trying to ask as many people as possible. Just doing a little survey. Just walking the drag, walking the strip. So there, you have a nice idea of what I'm talking about. A classic Jaguar God comic. Check it out here. Jaguar God #1. Is that the first appearance of Jaguar God? I have no idea. But I know that that's issue #1. It came out March 1995. Now there's another Jaguar God issue. It's pretty common that you see like daylight behind him. It's like almost like a dawn, a dusk type of sky. His arms are spread out. He's got a weapon in one arm, and it's also a Frank Frazetta cover. That's the issue 0. And turns out like issue 1 here came out March 95, and then issue 2 was August of 95, and then that issue 0 is in February of 96. And then 3 took off in March of 96. So this ran for a total of 8 issues, 1 through 7, and then that issue 0 that came out like about a year after this first issue. And I think it's like issue 1, 0, and issue 2 is a Frank Frazetta cover. Issue 0 is Frank Frazetta. And then that issue 7, the last one, is by Frank Frazetta. So it's a nice buy. It's worth it. $6 for me. Especially when you consider the price of modern age comics. I don't think that's a great excuse, actually. If you want to pay $6 for something, do it because you value the book and you know it's worth more than $1 book. You think it'd be unfair to pay $20, so forth. But the price of these books are rising. This is a $6 book. This is one of those books that I think that is going from the dollar bin to the $6 to $10 range. And when you got a cover with Frank Frazetta doing the artwork and Glenn Danzig doing the writing, and you just saw a sample of that Frank Turan interiors, it's a gorgeous book. As a collector, as an investor, I don't really care so much because I'm happy with this Verotic Jaguar God. It's great lit. And as a collector, it is just a fucking cool book to have. Yeah, when I saw this, I was like, okay, I bought the last 2 copies they had. And the condition of this one was so good. There was like, I'm not seeing any flaws. So $20 for this Satanica issue 0. I think it's 4 issues. Satanica. The first one was in January of 1995. And then just every 3 months, and issue 2 came out in April. Issue 3 came out in July 95, and then the same month this issue 0 came out. Be showing off some Frazetta work on Jack Kirby's birthday, I think, is more than appropriate. It's very fitting, I think. So we got Satanica Illustrations, September 1996 cover date, and August 97 color date is Verotic Illustrated. Joe Chiodo cover. Embossed font for this Satanica Illustrated. Fucking killer Simon Beasley cover here. Jaguar God right there. Oh yeah. This is the 4th printing. So it's at around 1989. Yes, some sources are telling me 1988, others 89 for the first printing from North Star. And then around 1991, that was when David Quinn, the writer, and the artist Tim Vigil took the property Faust over to their own Rebel Studios and started printing Faust in 1991 under the Rebel Edition label. So they reprinted the first 6 issues, I believe. When they did that, they had a separate cover. So it's almost like an early B cover. So yeah, issue 15, the last issue, came out in 2012. Interesting enough, this is a labor of love. I love it how it's the same artist, Tim Vigil, and the same writer, David Quinn, kicking ass throughout that whole time. Now they have an animated series on the way. $6. My earlier haul, I showed off this Classics Illustrated Upton Sinclair, the Jungle interpretation by Peter Cooper. I also did that textless comic book, The System, in the late 90s, 3-issue series of Vertigo. And when I went and did the video, Vision Comics and Oddities, when I was showing off the heavy metal section that they had, at the time they did not have this July 1990 issue. That's what I was looking for. You know, in like mint condition. I have a copy of this. I think I got it for like $50. Give or take $10. I can't quite remember if it was 60 or maybe it was 40, but it's in that range. And you know, Trump, he doesn't become president in this story, but there's just a lot of interesting pieces of information here. It's a 12-page story. Peter Cooper did the story, you know, 27 years before Trump becomes president. And said Harry Helmsley, I'm not sure if I got that first name right, but that billionaire and Donald Trump collaborate, and Helmsley ends up backstabbing Trump. I think maybe Helmsley becomes president in the story, but Trump gets a bunch of followers together to bond them all through, like, his slogans, and then this hat that they all wear, which at the time is like a beret, maybe kind of mimicking the Street Angels. And the wall in this story is more about separating the rich from the poor, from the discontent of the masses. Just a lot of elements here that were just too good to be true that I think will make this issue a collectible. There you have it, July 1st, 1990. And what better way, ladies and gentlemen, than to celebrate Jack Kirby's birthday and to give myself a gift. That's right. Give yourself a gift on Jack Kirby's birthday. A Jack Kirby gift, y'all. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Jack Kirby. Happy birthday to you. That's right, out of July 1977 cover date. This is the 30-cent cover for $85. That's some off-white pages. Mr. Dr. Stack hired to create these murder machines. X-51. He raises it like his son. And it becomes Mr. Machine. That's right, Mr. Machine. Because there was a toy named Mr. Machine. The copyright, they had to rename him to Machine Man. Happy birthday, Jack Kirby. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much for taking this little Happy Birthday Jack Kirby celebration with me. Little moment of silence there for the king. Thank you for watching. Happy Jack Kirby birthday month. Peace.
Taco Bell. It's right there, and there's the moon. Just so you know.
Jack Kirby?
Yeah.
Like the comic book artist?
Yeah.
We do.
You fucking do. The first people that know who he is. It's his birthday today.
Yeah.
Oh, he's only one of the.
Just only, yeah.
Really created the fucking
I mean,
Marvel
one
universe.
of the most, the most, arguably,
Anyone who
in
doesn't
the
know who
team
Jack
of
Kirby
most
is a
important.
fucking idiot.
Woo! Happy birthday to the king! To the king, y'all! To the motherfucking king! Thank you!